Welcome to another deep dive. Today we've got a really interesting mix of sources. We're going to be looking at some YouTube videos that cover both the Mandela effect and some of the secrets of Golden Age Hollywood.
Oh, interesting combination.
Yeah, so we'll unpack some intriguing stories, maybe learn some surprising facts, and hopefully you'll have some of those aha moments. Okay, ready to get started?
Absolutely. It's fascinating how our memories can be so easily influenced, especially when it comes to pop culture and history. Let's jump in.
Okay, so first up, Mandela effects. For those who may not know, these are shared false memories. They kind of make you question reality. I mean, sometimes these things are so vivid you could swear you remember them correctly, but then you find out you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It really is a testament to how malleable our memories can be. One of the videos we have, it's titled 10 Creepiest Mandela Effect Mysteries. And it lists some classic examples. Some of them really made me do a double take.
Right, like the one about Mickey Mouse never wearing suspenders. I mean, who doesn't remember those red shorts with the suspenders? But apparently he never wore them.
No.
It's mind-blowing how many people share this false memory.
Yeah, it could be our brains just filling in the gaps.
Yeah.
Think about it. Those white circles on Mickey's shorts could easily be mistaken for buttons, right?
Oh, interesting.
Leading people to assume there must have been suspenders. It's just how easily our perceptions can be shaped.
And there's that whole debate about "We Are the Champions." So many people think Freddie Mercury ends the song with "Of the World," but it just stops.
Yeah.
It's like our brains created an ending that never existed.
Exactly. And live performances can often add fuel to those false memories. Think about how many times you've heard a song differently live than on a recording.
Right.
Sometimes the energy of the crowd, the changes in tempo or lyrics,
Right.
it all contributes to a different experience, which can then become embedded in our memory.
Makes you wonder how much of what we remember is actually accurate. Another one that got me was the song "Don't Worry, Be Happy." Apparently, tons of people think it's a Bob Marley song, which is impossible because he died years before it came out.
Right.
It's actually Bobby McFerrin.
It's interesting how our brains can make those connections, maybe based on a similar sound or style. We hear something and it triggers an association, even if that association isn't entirely accurate.
Mm-hmm.
And over time, that association can solidify into, what feels like a real memory.
It's almost like our brains are playing tricks on us. Okay, how this one? The video says that Donner and Blitzen from the Rudolph story, they were originally Dunder and Bliksem, which are Dutch words for thunder and lightning. What do you think about that one?
Well, that could be a case of cultural adaptation. Language evolves over time. Names can be translated or anglicized. It's plausible that those names were gradually changed to make them, more familiar to an English-speaking audience.
Yeah.
But it's also possible that the original names just stuck in some people's memories, creating this discrepancy.
Fascinating, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this next one really tripped me out. You know that children's song, The Song That Never Ends?
I think I see where you're going with this.
So many people remember the lyrics being, "This is the song that never ends. It just goes on, my friends." But apparently the actual lyric is, "This is the song that doesn't end." It's a subtle difference, but it really throws you off when you realize it.
It's amazing how even a simple children's song can be affected by the Mandela effect. And it makes you think, if we can collectively misremember something so straightforward, what else are we misremembering?
Exactly. And what's even weirder is that some YouTube videos even have the wrong title, which just adds to the confusion.
Yeah.
It's like this alternate reality is bleeding into our online world.
Yeah, that's a great point. The internet can actually play a role in perpetuating these false memories. If you see something online, even if it's incorrect, it can reinforce a belief you already have, or even create a new one. It really makes you question the reliability of online information.
Okay, so speaking of questioning what we think we know, let's dive into a world where appearances were everything. Old Hollywood. We have this video called 21 Secretly Gay Stars of the Golden Age of Hollywood. It really pulls back the curtain on some of the biggest names who had to keep their true selves hidden. It's heartbreaking to think how many talented individuals were forced to live in the shadows because of societal pressures.
Absolutely. This was a time when homophobia was rampant, and being openly gay could ruin a career. So many actors and actresses were forced to live these double lives, terrified of being exposed.
Like Rock Hudson, one of the biggest heartthrobs of the era. The video mentions how he had to maintain this carefully crafted heterosexual image his whole career. He even entered into a lavender marriage just to keep up appearances.
Yeah. Hudson's story is particularly tragic because it wasn't until his AIDS diagnosis that his truth came out, which sadly brought much-needed attention to the epidemic. It's just a stark reminder of the devastating impact of prejudice and the human cost of societal silence.
And the video highlights so many other stories too. Cary Grant, Liberace, Rudolph Valentino, all leading very different lives behind closed doors. It makes you wonder how many more secrets are still waiting to be uncovered.
Yeah, it's a reminder that the image we see on screen doesn't always reflect the whole truth. Makes you think about how much talent was wasted because of fear and prejudice.
And it's not just about the stars who kept their sexuality hidden. The video also mentions some actors who were openly gay later in their careers, like Dick Sargent from Bewitched. It's inspiring to see that shift, even though it came too late for so many.
Absolutely. It reflects a gradual but significant evolution in societal attitudes towards LGBTQ plus individuals.
Hmm.
Of course, there's still a long way to go, but those early pioneers who dared to live authentically, they helped pave the way for greater acceptance.
Now, for some slightly less serious but still fascinating tidbits about Hollywood's golden age, we found a video claiming that some male stars were, let's just say, well endowed.
Okay.
Frank Sinatra, Milton Berle, Errol Flynn. Apparently size did matter in Hollywood.
Well, these anecdotes, while perhaps a bit exaggerated, offer a glimpse into uh, the gossip-fueled nature of Hollywood culture. It's interesting how these personal details, even if potentially embellished, become part of the legends surrounding these larger-than-life figures.
Totally. One of the videos even mentions Frank Sinatra's valet, revealing that Sinatra had special underwear made to contain his, shall we say, enthusiasm.
It's a funny story, but it also highlights how these personal details can become part of the mythology surrounding these stars. Whether it's true or not, it just adds to the mystique and the legend of Frank Sinatra.
And Milton Berle was apparently quite the exhibitionist. The video mentions a writer for Saturday Night Live recounting a story about Berle exposing himself in a writer's room.
It's a reminder that even though we place these stars on a pedestal, they were still real people with their own eccentricities and flaws. And sometimes those flaws were harmless, and other times, not so much.
And then there's Errol Flynn, who, according to the video, had quite the reputation for his assets and his, shall we say, adventurous lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like his off-screen persona was just as swashbuckling as his on-screen roles.
Yeah. It's important to remember that these stories often originate from a time when societal norms and expectations were vastly different. What might have been considered scandalous then might be viewed as more commonplace today.
Absolutely. It's all about context. And speaking of context, this next video, Jacob Rothschild Disturbing Interview released, takes us down a completely different rabbit hole. It talks about the Rothschild family's alleged connection to the creation of Israel and their influence on global events.
It's important to note that this video presents a particular perspective on a complex and multifaceted historical event. The creation of Israel involved a multitude of factors and perspectives, so it's crucial to consider various viewpoints and interpretations.
Right. The video specifically focuses on this letter sent to Walter Rothschild by the British government in 1917, expressing support for a Jewish home in Palestine. It's called the Balfour Declaration, and the video claims this letter is evidence of the Rothschild family's direct involvement in shaping global politics.
The Balfour Declaration was indeed a significant historical document. However, attributing its creation solely to the influence of one family would be an oversimplification of a complex historical process. It's crucial to consider the broader political and social forces at play during that time.
The video even suggests that the Rothschild family helped fund the early settlements in Israel.
This is a claim that should be approached, with a critical eye. Historical accounts often present varying and sometimes conflicting interpretations,
Yeah.
and it's important to consider multiple sources and perspectives.
Good point. So it's not just about what's presented, but also about understanding the biases and potential agendas behind the information, right?
Exactly. Critical thinking is essential when navigating historical narratives, especially those that present potentially controversial or one-sided interpretations.
Well, this next video takes us from complex geopolitical events to, well, Hollywood gossip again. It's titled, Mel Gibson Exposed Hollywood and Paid the Price. Apparently, Gibson's outspoken views and controversial actions have had a significant impact on his career.
Yeah, this video explores the intersection of personal beliefs and public image, particularly within the entertainment industry. It raises questions about the consequences of expressing controversial viewpoints, especially for high-profile individuals.
Right, and the video claims that Gibson's career took a hit after some anti-Semitic remarks he made during an arrest, and a leaked phone call where he allegedly used racial slurs. It also mentions his film The Passion of the Christ, which was praised by some for its religious themes, but criticized by others for its depiction of violence.
Yeah, this example demonstrates how public figures can face both praise and backlash for their creative choices and personal beliefs, especially when those beliefs touch upon sensitive topics. It just highlights the complexities of navigating fame and the potential consequences of expressing, controversial opinions.
The video also touches on Gibson's efforts to rebuild his career and regain public favor. It mentions his directing work and some recent roles he's taken on. It seems like a classic redemption narrative, but it makes you wonder if full redemption is ever possible in the court of public opinion.
Hmm. It highlights the complexities of redemption narratives and how public perception can shift over time. Sometimes it's a matter of individual actions. Other times it's more about evolving societal attitudes.
So from potential Hollywood conspiracies to the very real consequences of controversial actions, it seems like these videos are showing us that there's always more than meets the eye.
Exactly. It's a reminder that we should always strive to look beyond the surface and engage with information critically, considering various perspectives and seeking a deeper understanding.
Okay, this next video dives into the alleged dark side of some Golden Age actors. It's called Most Evil Actors of Hollywood's Golden Age. A bit dramatic, maybe?
A little bit.
But it does mention some pretty shocking rumors and allegations.
It's important to remember that this video likely focuses on the most sensationalized aspects of these actors' lives, potentially relying on hearsay or unsubstantiated claims. So, it's crucial to approach this information with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Totally. For instance, the video claims Kirk Douglas was known to be difficult on set, and there were rumors of inappropriate behavior. It even mentions an unverified account alleging that he mistreated Natalie Wood when she was a teenager.
It's important to remember that allegations are not facts, and especially in the world of Hollywood, rumors and gossip can spread like wildfire. It's essential to be cautious about perpetuating unverified information, as it can have a lasting impact on reputations.
Right, of course. The video also mentions Errol Flynn's wild lifestyle, which apparently included a lot of partying and womanizing. There's even a story about him playing the piano with his, manhood.
Again, this type of anecdote is typical of the sensationalized stories that often circulate about Hollywood stars, especially those from a bygone era. It's likely that many of these stories were exaggerated or fabricated for entertainment purposes.
The video also talks about Orson Welles and how he was known for being outspoken and critical of other actors.
Well, Welles was a visionary filmmaker, but his outspoken nature and unconventional methods often led to clashes with Hollywood's establishment. This video likely focuses on those clashes, potentially portraying him in a more negative light. And it's important to remember there's always more than one side to every story.
And it mentions Wallace Beery, who the video claims was abusive towards child actors on set. If true, that's just awful.
These allegations, if true, are incredibly disturbing. It's a stark reminder of the power imbalances that have historically existed within the entertainment industry, and the importance of protecting vulnerable individuals, especially children.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that the glamorous world of Hollywood has a dark underbelly, and not all stories have happy endings. The video also mentions Bing Crosby and claims that he was a strict disciplinarian with his children, even physically abusive, according to some accounts.
Family dynamics are complex, and it's not our place to judge or speculate about the internal workings of a family, especially one that existed, decades ago. Yeah, we can acknowledge the allegations, but it's essential to avoid making assumptions or passing judgment without concrete evidence.
And finally, it mentions Henry Fonda, who the video claims was a distant and emotionally unavailable father.
Again, it's crucial to avoid making assumptions about personal relationships based on limited information or hearsay. These are complex human lives, and we can only speculate about the reasons behind their actions or behaviors.
Okay, so this next video is a bit of a change of pace. It's about mutant teenagers.
Okay.
It's called Prison Bully Don't Realize That the Girl They're Bullying is a Mutant That Can Control the Iron.
It sounds wild, Ress.
Yeah.
And it is. It's a recap of an episode from the TV show The Gifted.
Well, this video provides a glimpse into the world of superhero fiction and its exploration of themes like, prejudice, discrimination, and the struggle for acceptance. It's interesting how superhero narratives can often serve as allegories for real-world social issues.
Right. The story focuses on this girl named Lorna, who's imprisoned for using her mutant powers to rescue another mutant. In prison, she's bullied for being different and having these powers, but she eventually uses her abilities to fight back.
Hmm. It's a classic underdog story, showcasing the resilience of marginalized individuals and the power of embracing one's unique abilities, even in the face of adversity. It's a theme that resonates with a lot of people, especially those who felt ostracized or misunderstood. The video also mentions that Lorna is pregnant and that the bullies target her unborn child, which is just horrible.
Yeah. This element adds a layer of vulnerability and raises questions about the impact of prejudice and discrimination on future generations. It shows how hatred and intolerance can have a ripple effect, affecting not just individuals, but also their families and communities.
The video then goes on to describe a daring rescue mission where Lorna's friends and family team up to break her out of prison.
It's a typical trope in superhero narratives, highlighting the importance of community and the strength that comes from uniting against a common enemy. It shows how even in the face of overwhelming odds, hope and solidarity can prevail.
And of course, there's a betrayal. One of Lorna's friends, a mutant named Pulse who can control electricity, turns out to be working for the authorities.
Oh, wow. This plot twist adds a layer of complexity and underscores the theme of trust and betrayal. It's a common theme in stories about marginalized groups fighting for their rights. It shows how even within a movement there can be conflicting loyalties and hidden agendas.
In the end, Lorna and her allies escape, but there's this ominous feeling that the fight is far from over.
Yeah, it leaves the viewer with a sense of anticipation and reinforces the ongoing struggle for equality and acceptance that is, central to many superhero narratives. It's a reminder that the fight for justice is often a long and arduous journey, but one worth fighting for.
Okay, we're gonna stop here for now, but don't worry, there's more to come. When we get back, we'll delve deeper into these YouTube videos, exploring topics ranging from gender transitions in Hollywood to the secrets lurking beneath the streets of Los Angeles. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to our deep dive into these YouTube rabbit holes.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing how these online explorations can uncover such a diverse range of topics, It's like falling down a rabbit hole of information. Okay, so this next video takes us in a totally different direction. It's called Famous Celebrities Who Underwent Gender Transition. And it features some really powerful stories of people who chose to live their truth authentically.
Yeah, this video speaks to a significant cultural shift that's been happening. There's increasing visibility and acceptance of transgender and non-binary individuals, and it's incredibly important.
Absolutely. And it's amazing to see how these celebrities have used their platforms to advocate for change and to inspire others to live authentically.
Right.
They're really paving the way for others to feel comfortable and confident being themselves.
Yeah, their stories challenge traditional notions of gender and identity,
Yeah.
right? And in doing so, they're encouraging greater understanding and empathy for everyone.
For sure. One of the most impactful stories in the video is Caitlyn Jenner's.
Mm.
Her transition back in 2015 was a major cultural moment, and it really sparked a lot of conversations, both positive and negative.
Yeah. Jenner's story definitely highlights the complexities of navigating personal identity in the public eye, especially when those personal choices intersect with social and political issues.
Yeah, it's definitely a reminder that everyone's journey is unique.
Yeah.
And we should approach these stories with sensitivity and respect.
Absolutely. Another powerful example is Laverne Cox. The video talks about how she made history as the first openly trans person to be nominated for a Primetime Emmy in an acting category.
Wow, yeah, her role in Orange is the New Black was so groundbreaking, and it really helped to change the landscape of representation on television.
Right. Cox's achievements demonstrate the growing representation of transgender individuals in the entertainment industry. It's a positive step towards greater inclusivity, and it shows how far we've come.
And then there's Elliot Page, who came out as transgender in 2020. His story and his bravery in sharing it really resonated with a lot of people.
Yeah. Page's decision to publicly share his journey was incredibly powerful. It gave a voice to so many transgender men and non-binary individuals, particularly those who are still struggling to be seen and accepted.
Absolutely. And the video also talks about Jazz Jennings, who's been sharing her story as a transgender girl since she was very young. It's incredible to see her courage and advocacy from such a young age.
Jennings' visibility has been instrumental in educating the public about the realities of being transgender and promoting acceptance. She's a real role model for young people everywhere.
The video also mentions the Wachowski siblings, Lana and Lily, who are the filmmakers behind The Matrix. They both transitioned later in their careers, and their work has always pushed boundaries.
Yeah. Their success in Hollywood as transgender women is a powerful testament to their talent and resilience. And it's a hopeful sign of progress.
It's inspiring to see people like them breaking down barriers and achieving their dreams.
Yeah, and it's not just about individual stories. These examples from different backgrounds and with diverse experiences, they collectively represent the richness and complexity of the transgender community. It's a reminder that everyone deserves to live authentically and be respected for who they are.
Okay, let's shift gears for a bit and explore something completely different. This next video, What Lies Beneath Los Angeles, takes us on a journey into the hidden world beneath the city's streets.
It's fascinating to think about all the layers of history and infrastructure that exist beneath a bustling metropolis like LA.
Right. The video starts by talking about this vast network of utilities that we never even think about. Water pipes, gas lines, electrical cables, all running beneath our feet.
Yeah, these hidden networks are crucial for the functioning of a modern city, providing vital services to millions of people.
But it's not just about the essentials. The video also delves into some more intriguing aspects of LA's underground world, like these abandoned subway tunnels from the early 20th century.
Yeah, these remnants of a bygone era, they offer a glimpse into the city's transportation past and how it has evolved over time. It's like a hidden time capsule beneath the streets.
And then it gets even more interesting. The video mentions these secret bomb shelters that some wealthy residents built during the Cold War.
Yeah. Those underground bunkers speak to the anxieties and fears that permeated society during that period. It's a reminder of how historical events can shape our perceptions of safety and security.
It's almost surreal to imagine people living their lives underground, fearing a nuclear attack.
It certainly speaks to a different era and a different set of concerns, but it's also a reminder that history often repeats itself in unexpected ways.
That's a good point. Okay, so moving on to something a bit less ominous. The video also talks about the LA sewer system, which apparently is one of the largest and oldest in the U.S.
Yeah, it's not exactly glamorous,
Yeah.
but it's definitely essential for maintaining public health and sanitation in a city as large as LA.
Definitely not something you want to think about too much. But the video then goes on to talk about something much more glamorous, like an underground mansion in Rolling Hills.
This extravagant underground dwelling really exemplifies the extremes of wealth and how so individuals seek privacy and exclusivity even beneath the surface.
It's crazy to think about all the luxurious amenities hidden beneath the ground.
It certainly challenges our notions of what a home can be and where it can exist.
The video also mentions the massive foundations of LA skyscrapers, some of which go incredibly deep to withstand earthquakes.
Yeah, these engineering marvels really showcase the ingenuity and technical expertise required to construct towering structures in a seismically active region.
It's a reminder that even in a city as modern as LA, we're constantly grappling with the forces of nature.
Right. And speaking of grappling with nature, the video then goes into the network of private and industrial wells that tap into deep aquifers beneath the city.
Yeah. These underground water sources are a reminder of the importance of managing and protecting natural resources, especially in a region prone to drought.
Right. It's a delicate balance between meeting the needs of a growing population and ensuring the sustainability of our water supply.
Okay, this next part is where things get a little more mysterious. The video mentions this urban legend about lizard people living in underground cities beneath Los Angeles.
Oh, interesting. This tale, while likely rooted in folklore and speculation, illustrates how urban environments can inspire myths and legends.
It's like a modern-day fairy tale, reflecting our fascination with the unknown.
Right. And it speaks to the enduring power of storytelling, even in a city as grounded in reality as LA.
Okay, moving on to something a bit more grounded. The video talks about the history of oil drilling in Los Angeles, which apparently dates back to the mid-19th century.
The discovery of oil in LA had a profound impact on the city's development, transforming it into a major industrial center.
It's amazing to think about how much the city has changed over the years.
Yeah. And it's a reminder that progress often comes at a cost, both to the environment and to the people who live there.
The video mentions that there are still active oil wells operating within the city limits, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah. This ongoing extraction of oil raises important questions about the balance between economic development and environmental sustainability.
It's a complex issue with no easy answers.
Absolutely. And it's a reminder that we need to be mindful of the long-term consequences of our actions, both for ourselves and for future generations.
Okay, let's take a break from the serious stuff for a bit and explore something a little more fun. This next video is titled Top 10 Seriously Addictive Fantasy Shows You've Never Heard of. And it's full of recommendations for lesser-known fantasy series.
Oh, fun. Well, this video delves into the world of genre television, exploring the diverse range of fantasy narratives that captivate audiences.
It's amazing how many creative and imaginative shows are out there just waiting to be discovered.
The first show that it mentions is called 30 Coins, a Spanish series about an exorcist who gets caught up in a global conspiracy involving a mysterious coin.
It sounds like a wild ride.
Yeah, it definitely combines elements of horror, mystery, and religious themes in a unique and compelling way.
Then there's Motherland, Fort Salem, which is set in an alternate America where witches are part of the military.
Oh, interesting. This series really subverts traditional gender roles and explores themes of power, identity, and the intersection of magic and warfare.
It's great to see shows that challenge our expectations and offer fresh perspectives.
Absolutely. Another recommendation is Moving, a Korean series about high school students with superpowers who are being hunted by a shadowy organization.
Ooh, this one sounds like a blend of superhero action and teen drama.
Exactly. It explores the challenges of adolescence and the complexities of identity through a supernatural lens.
And then there's The Irregulars, a show set in Victorian London that puts a supernatural spin on the Sherlock Holmes stories.
Oh, cool. This series offers a fresh take on a classic literary figure, incorporating elements of mystery, crime, and the paranormal.
It's always fun to see how familiar stories can be reimagined in new and exciting ways.
Absolutely. Another intriguing recommendation is Hellbound, a Korean series about otherworldly beings who condemn people to hell, sparking widespread panic and the rise of a dangerous religious group.
This one sounds pretty intense.
It definitely explores themes of faith, morality, and the human response to the unknown, particularly in the face of existential threats.
It's a reminder that even in the realm of fantasy, there are often profound reflections on the human condition.
Absolutely. The video also mentions the Shannara Chronicles, an adaptation of a fantasy book series, set in a world of magic and danger where a group of heroes must save the world from demons.
This one sounds like a classic fantasy adventure full of epic battles and mystical creatures.
Right. It's a story about courage, friendship, and the fight against evil, which are themes that resonate across cultures and time periods.
Then there's Interview with the Vampire, a modern reimagining of the classic vampire story, focusing on themes of race, desire, and immortality.
This series revisits a familiar genre through a contemporary lens, exploring the complexities of identity and the enduring fascination with vampire lore.
It's interesting how certain stories continue to captivate us across generations.
Absolutely, it speaks to the power of myth and archetype, and the enduring appeal of certain themes and characters.
The video also recommends The Nevers, a show set in Victorian London about a group of women with extraordinary abilities who must protect themselves from a hostile world.
This series combines elements of steampunk aesthetics with superhero narratives, showcasing female empowerment and the struggle for equality in a patriarchal society.
It's great to see shows that challenge traditional gender roles and offer empowering representations of women.
Absolutely. Another recommendation is Dead Boy Detectives, a show about two ghost boys who solve mysteries with the help of a psychic medium.
Ooh, this one sounds like a unique blend of humor, horror, and coming-of-age themes.
Right. It explores the afterlife and the enduring bonds of friendship through a supernatural lens.
And finally, the video's top pick is A Discovery of Witches, a show about a historian who discovers a magical manuscript and teams up with a vampire to protect it.
This series combines elements of fantasy, romance, and historical fiction, exploring themes of forbidden love, ancient secrets, and the clash between different supernatural factions.
It sounds like a perfect blend of escapism and intrigue.
Yeah, it definitely offers a rich and immersive world for viewers to get lost in.
Wow, that's a lot of shows to add to the watch list.
It's a reminder of the vast and ever-expanding world of genre television, offering a wealth of imaginative stories and captivating characters.
Okay, I think we have time for one more video before we wrap up this part of the deep dive.
Let's do it.
This one is titled The Awakening of Jim Carrey, Hollywood's Worst Nightmare. It sounds pretty intense.
Yeah, this video appears to explore the personal journey of a well-known comedian, highlighting his evolving perspectives on fame, Hollywood, and the search for meaning.
Right. It starts by talking about Carrey's early struggles in Hollywood, his rise to fame, and the challenges he faced along the way.
Yeah, it's a common narrative in the entertainment industry, the story of an artist's ascent to success, often marked by by setbacks and personal sacrifices.
The video mentions how Carey initially sought validation and acceptance through his work, but eventually found it to be unfulfilling.
This realization is something that many people can relate to, not just celebrities. It's the idea that external validation doesn't necessarily lead to inner peace or happiness.
The video then goes into Carey's spiritual awakening and his growing disillusionment with the Hollywood lifestyle.
This kind of shift in perspective often happens when people reach a point where they question the values and priorities that have driven their lives.
It's like they're searching for something more meaningful, something beyond the material world.
Exactly. And for Carey, this search led him to criticize Hollywood and speak out against what he perceived as its shallowness and corruption.
Which is pretty brave considering he was a major part of that world.
Yeah, it definitely takes courage to challenge the status quo, especially when your livelihood is at stake.
The video then discusses the allegations against Carey related to the death of his former girlfriend, Catriona White.
Right. It's important to approach these allegations with sensitivity and respect for all parties involved.
Of course. The video highlights how Carey's public image suffered during that time, as he faced intense scrutiny and criticism.
Yeah. This example shows how personal controversies can have a profound impact on public figures, even when the legal process has run its course.
The video then shifts back to Carey's spiritual journey, mentioning his embrace of existential philosophy and his focus on finding meaning beyond material success.
This exploration of spirituality and self-discovery is a common theme among individuals who have experienced the highs and lows of fame and fortune.
It's like they're seeking a deeper understanding of themselves and their place in the world.
Precisely. And for Carey, this exploration seems to have taken him on a very public and sometimes controversial path.
The video mentions Carey's appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, where he seemingly mocked the Illuminati and made some strange pronouncements about the meaninglessness of life.
Yeah. This incident was likely intended as performance art or social commentary, reflecting Carey's evolving perspectives on fame and society.
It definitely caused a lot of buzz and left people wondering what was going on with him.
It's a reminder that celebrities, despite their public personas, are still individuals with their own complexities and struggles.
The video ends by talking about how Carey has seemingly stepped back from mainstream Hollywood, focusing on more personal creative projects.
Yeah, this decision suggests a conscious choice to prioritize artistic expression and personal fulfillment over the pursuit of fame and fortune.
It's like he's found a new path that aligns with his values and aspirations.
It's a reminder that we all have the power to define success on our own terms and to create a life that feels authentic and meaningful.
Wow, that was quite a journey through Jim Carrey's life and career. It's amazing how someone who brought so much laughter to the world could also experience such darkness and turmoil.
Yeah. It's a reminder that behind the public facades, celebrities are human beings with their own unique experiences and challenges.
Okay, that's all the time we have for this part of the deep dive. But don't worry, we'll be back with the final part, where we'll explore even more fascinating stories and insights from the world of entertainment.
Yeah. We'll delve into everything from Hollywood secrets to the complexities of fame and the search for meaning.
So stay tuned. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground today, you know. It's amazing how these YouTube videos can open up these rabbit holes of information on such a variety of topics.
It really has been quite a journey. From those mind-bending Mandela effects to the hidden lives of Hollywood stars, it seems like there's always something new to discover.
Absolutely. Speaking of Hollywood icons, this next video features the legendary Dame Joan Collins spilling the tea on her experiences in the entertainment industry. It's called Dame Joan Collins Shares Her Hollywood Secrets, Loose Women, and let me tell you, she does not hold back.
Dame Joan Collins has certainly had a long and illustrious career, and she's known for her sharp wit and her willingness to speak her mind. It's always fascinating to hear from someone who's witnessed firsthand the evolution of Hollywood over the decades. Right. She talks about everything from the infamous casting couch to the pressures of maintaining a certain image in Hollywood. She even shares some specific incidents of sexual harassment she faced early in her career, which unfortunately is a topic that's still relevant today.
It's incredibly important for women, especially those in positions of power, to speak out about these experiences. It helps to break down the stigma and encourages others to come forward and share their stories. Dame Joan Collins' candor is a powerful example of how we can challenge the status quo and work towards creating a safer and more equitable industry for everyone.
And it's not just about speaking out against injustices. The video also touches on Collins's views on aging in Hollywood and how she's managed to stay relevant throughout her career. It's a testament to her talent and her incredible resilience.
Absolutely. She's defied the odds and proven that age is just a number. She's a role model for women of all ages, demonstrating that it's possible to maintain a successful career and a strong sense of self throughout life's journey.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. This next video, Shannon Sharpe blasts Cat Williams for killing his career. Shannon is blacklisted, takes us into the world of comedy and the sometimes tumultuous careers of stand-up comedians.
This video seems to explore the intersection of personal behavior and professional success, particularly within the often unforgiving world of entertainment.
Right. It focuses on Cat Williams, a comedian who's known for his outrageous persona and his often erratic behavior. The video argues that Williams's career has suffered due to a series of arrests, public outbursts, and feuds with other comedians. It's a cautionary tale about the potential consequences of unchecked behavior, especially when you're in the public eye.
Yeah, it's true that public figures often face greater scrutiny for their actions, and their personal lives can sometimes overshadow their professional achievements. It raises questions about the balance between personal freedom and public responsibility, especially in the age of social media where every misstep can go viral.
Exactly. And the video also features Shannon Sharpe, a former NFL player and sports commentator who's pretty critical of Cat Williams. Sharpe basically says that Williams has squandered his talent and opportunities.
Sharp's perspective is an interesting one. He seems to be emphasizing the importance of professionalism and taking ownership of your actions. It's a valuable reminder that regardless of your talent, maintaining a certain level of decorum and respect for others is crucial for long-term success in any field.
The video also touches on this concept of being blacklisted in Hollywood, which is a pretty scary thought.
Yeah. The idea of being blacklisted essentially means being excluded from opportunities due to past actions or controversies. It speaks to the power dynamics that exist within the industry, where certain individuals or groups can wield considerable influence over who gets work and who doesn't.
Right. It's a reminder that freedom of speech doesn't always translate into freedom from consequences, especially in an industry that's built on image and reputation.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that the concept of cancel culture, where individuals are ostracized or their careers are damaged due to perceived transgressions, is a complex and often contentious issue. It's essential to approach these situations with nuance and to consider all sides of the story.
Okay, let's dive into another video that explores the darker side of Hollywood. This one is called The Dark Truth About Hollywood in California, Joe Rogan and Tom Green. And it features a conversation between comedian Tom Green and podcast host Joe Rogan, both of whom have some pretty interesting perspectives on the entertainment industry.
Yeah, Joe Rogan and Tom Green are both known for their outspokenness and their willingness to challenge conventional thinking. It should be an interesting conversation, especially since they've both achieved success in Hollywood while also maintaining a certain distance from the Hollywood machine, so to speak.
Exactly. They talk about the cutthroat competition, the constant pressure to conform, and the superficiality of relationships in Hollywood. It's a pretty raw and unfiltered look at what it's really like to navigate that world.
It's a valuable counter-narrative to the often glamorized image of Hollywood that we see in the media. It's important to remember that behind the glitz and glamour, there are real people facing real challenges and making difficult choices.
They even touch on how the dominant political ideology in Hollywood can create a sense of conformity and potentially silence dissenting voices.
Hmm.
It makes you wonder if true artistic expression can thrive in an environment where everyone is expected to think and act a certain way.
That's a valid concern. Conformity can stifle creativity and limit the range of perspectives being represented. It's important for any creative industry to encourage diversity of thought and to create space for voices that challenge the status quo.
And they also talk about the impact of social media on the entertainment industry, noting how it's created new opportunities but also amplified the pressure to constantly create content and maintain a public persona.
Social media has definitely transformed the landscape of entertainment, creating both challenges and opportunities. It's a double-edged sword that can both connect and isolate, empower and exploit. It's an ongoing conversation about how to navigate this new digital world in a healthy and sustainable way.
Okay, ready for one last deep dive into the bizarre world of YouTube videos. This one is titled Stars Who Were Famously Well Endowed in Old Hollywood. Here Are Their Stories Files. And it's exactly what you think it is.
Well, this certainly seems like a lighthearted way to end our exploration. It's a reminder that at the end of the day, even celebrities are human beings with their own, shall we say, unique attributes.
Right. It focuses on male actors from Hollywood's golden age who were rumored to be, let's just say, well-equipped.
Right. These types of anecdotes often speak more to the culture of gossip and the fascination with celebrity than to any verifiable facts. It's all part of the myth making that surrounds these larger than life figures.
Totally. The video mentions Frank Sinatra, claiming that his valet even had to have special underwear made for him. It also talks about Milton Berle and his alleged exhibitionist tendencies, as well as Errol Flynn's legendary reputation as a ladies' man.
It's amusing to consider these stories,
Yeah.
but it's also important to remember that they're often exaggerated or fabricated for entertainment purposes.
Mm.
It's all part of the mystique that surrounds these icons.
And it even includes John Dillinger, a notorious gangster from the 1930s who apparently had a reputation for being well endowed as
All
well.
right, including a real life criminal alongside Hollywood actors certainly blurs the lines between fact and fiction, highlighting how celebrity culture can incorporate elements of myth making and sensationalism.
Well, that was quite a deep dive. From the Mandela effect to the secrets of old Hollywood, we've explored a lot of fascinating and thought-provoking topics today.
It really has been. It's been a great reminder that there's always more to learn, more perspectives to consider, and more stories waiting to be uncovered.
Exactly. So keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep digging deeper. There's a whole world of information out there just waiting to be discovered. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time.